What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we are going to be talking about the top 5 best and worst value centers in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. So we are going to be looking at some decent enough, actually no, in fairness, I'm going to say this now, the worst value 5 are not great, honestly. So yeah, we have got some okay cards in the best value, not great cards in worst value, but I'm saying this, all 10 of these cards get eaten alive by Anthony Davis. So center position's a bit of a weird one. As well as that, there's maybe one of these guys that is better than Sean Kemp. Maybe one of these guys who's a power forward. And total, maybe 2 of these guys that are better than Ersan Ilyasova even. So the center position is a weird one. Like, it's really top heavy. Like, the best guys to run the 5 are actually quite good. However, after the top like 3 or 4, the center position falls off a cliff. So you're gonna notice it on this list. But anyway, this is purely based on value. It's not necessarily the best players are going to be on the best list and the worst players are going to be on the worst list. It's purely going to be based on value. So I've been playing so much TT offline today, like so many packs, and we still have not gotten the dentist. Like, I have been playing this game. Literally, the only time is when I'm recording or editing that I have not played this game for the last 10 hours, more than 10 hours at this stage. I never want to do another curry slide into a 3-pointer ever again in my life, but I guess it's going to be even longer because the 375 plus games between my accounts, I haven't gotten any of the rewards all year for TT offline. But anyway, now let's get on to the list. So, at number 5 in the worst value, we are going to the international set, and it's big ZYDRUNAS ILGAUSKAS, who is around 31k. So his lock, first of all, he's quite expensive. His locker and reward is bad. Like, Detlef Schrempf is not a good card. The one kind of redeeming quality is that he's a 7'3" shooter. That is his like one redeeming quality because he's got a pretty good release. I get it, it's only 79 3-ball, but he will hit. Well, like, you cannot use a card right now in this game with 29 speed. Current gen or next gen, you can't use a guy with 29 speed. Like, it's tough enough to use like a Ralph Sampson with like 47 speed or something. You can't use anyone with 29 speed. I don't really care about anything else. Like, 29 speed is 29 speed. Like, teams will literally just throw full court launch passes. If you can somehow find a way to make ILGAUSKAS work, he's actually a pretty good offensive player. But man, he's rough on defense. He is so rough on defense, so he has to be on the list. Then we are going to the very next set, and it's team-ups, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and it's Will Chamberlain. So this Will Chamberlain, he doesn't have the big player build, and is around the same price. Maybe a little bit cheaper sometimes, but Marcus Camby is an even worse reward. Like, Marcus Camby is an awful reward. Marcus Camby is barely better than this Wilt. But like, this Will Chamberlain, yeah, he's 7'1", but he doesn't have the monster of a player build that his Opal has. His Opal has the big player build, the headband Wilt, and it's a noticeable difference. But he's got like Hall of Fame drop stepper. He's only got a grand total of 24 badges, which is rough. He's got like Intimidator, doesn't get clamps or anything. Oh well, he is good in the post. He can't shoot a mid-range, can't shoot a 3-pointer, can't shoot a free throw. He also, yes, he's got a good block rating. His speed is meh. Like, he can't run at all with the ball. His acceleration is low, so his speed, he feels really slow and clunky. And yeah, there's a good Will Chamberlain. And he's also got awful lateral quickness. Like, he is worse in terms of, like, he's barely better. He may be worse in terms of interior defense than this Chris Bosh. Like he's not good at anything. He's not good at anything. Yeah, you can catch lobs, but you can do the exact same thing with Emerald Shaq as you can do with this Will Chamberlain. Like, he is not it. He is not it at all, lads. He is absolutely awful. And for around 30k, give me Amethyst Jimmy Butler over him. And give me one Ruby center who's actually my best value list. That's incredible. But yeah, so he's awful. Will is absolutely awful. Then we are on to number 3. And it is playoff records. DIKEMBE, not Mark Eaton. You know what? Mark Eaton could be on this list as well. Don't know what price he goes for. But DIKEMBE MUTOMBO. The reason why he's more expensive, why I don't have him higher than this on the list, is because you know what? Spree was actually decent. But he's 7-2, and he is basically the exact same as the Ruby Mutombo. Again, I'm not even kidding. Do I surely I own Ruby Mutombo on discount. I don't, but they're basically the same card. They are basically the same card. Like 6 Hall of Fame badges. Rim Protector. He's a good lob catcher. I will be the first to say that he's a really nice lob catcher. He's a really nice pick and roller. A big reason for his value is that he's basically the exact same as the Ruby card. But he's not the worst card in the world. And funnily enough, I remember I watched 2K TV. And this is like 2K TV maybe 3 weeks ago. And they actually recommended people to go out and buy this card. They actually recommended people. That just reminds me of when Two Bros last year said that the best Spotlight Sim player was Diamond Terrence Ross, when in fact he was the worst Spotlight Sim player, pretty much. Actually, no, there was maybe 3 or 4 worse, but he was in the worst 5 of them. So yeah, this card is just a kind of funny one that it's like a definitely do not go to 2K TV for tips for my team. And definitely do not go into the community tab, which has 2 Allen Iversons and 2 Rich. Team of the week, the most used cards. Like, can they please 2K, can you like next year, can you please like go on to creators and find like, make like a team of the week and ask a creator each week to make their own squad, because a squad with 2 Iversons, 2 Richard Jeffersons, and an Emerald Shaq. Like, how is that helping anybody? But yeah, so now we are on to number 2. And this is a card from day 1. This is a card from day 1. Well, day 0 or 1.5, because everyone got the game a day early. But like actual day 1. Everyone got the game on the Thursday, but the actual day 1 card was Hakeem Olajuwon. He sucks. Like, he genuinely sucks. He sucked at the time. Like, he wasn't even good at the time he came out. Yeah, he's got Intimidator. The guy can't really shoot a 3 ball. Barely able to shoot a mid. Awful dunk. He's slow. Actually, moderately slow. Slow laterally. But he doesn't do anything. He does not do anything. This Hakeem was bad. This guy came at day 1. And he was bad day 1. Rick Smith was better than him. Rick Smith came out and he was better. I think were there anyone else that was better? What big men were used? Heck, Myers Leonard Emeralds. People were using Myers Leonard Emeralds. Bill Laimbeer was better than him. There were so many better cards than this guy on day 1. Like, he was awful. And again, he still has some sort of value. Like 30k MT for a card that is as bad as this. Awful value. And number 1, who else? I don't care that he's cheap now. I don't care. How am I ever going to have a list of worst anything, and not have Diamond Ben Wallace at number 1? He doesn't do anything. Yes, I get it. His price, normally he's around like 13, 14k MT. He is 6'9", Hakeem Olajuwon without a post game. He's got Half Intimidator. Great. We've all seen on Isaiah Thomas that Half Intimidator doesn't do anywhere near as much this year as it did last year. Like, Half Intimidator was a massive badge last year, not so much this year. Yeah, he's got Rim Protector. He's got only Silver Heart Crusher. And, like, he's got Lob City Finisher. But look at his offensive game. He's got no post game whatsoever. He's got no mid-range. He's got no three-pointer. He's got no free throw. The only thing that he can do is catch lobs on offense. He's got a 94 block. He's 6'9", so it's going to feel like it's about an 80. Steal, not great. Perimeter defense, not great. Interior defense is alright. Speed, he's slow, a lot slower than Chris Bosh. He's not particularly fast. And lateral quick 75 is not good for a 6'9" player. Like, what? He's barely more athletic than Brook Lopez? Like, he's not even faster than Brook Lopez? Like, what? This card sucks. He absolutely sucks. And could you argue that he's worse value, that he's better value than Hakeem? Maybe, because Hakeem's twice the price of Ben Wallace. But at least you can give the ball to Hakeem and maybe he can drop step someone in the post. Ben Wallace can't score. The only way you can score with Ben Wallace is if you're playing someone who doesn't know how to guard the pick and roll and is going to leave you wide open for a roll every time. And that also involves you knowing how to run a pick and roll, which a lot of people don't in this game. So, an absolute garbage, man. One of the worst cards in the game. And it wouldn't be a DBG list without having... It wouldn't be a DBG worst list without having Ben Wallace at number 1. So now we are on to the best. A little bit more positive here. A little bit more positive. So, funnily enough, we had Hakeem Olajuwon Diamond as number 2 worst value. And the number 5 best value card, center, is Hakeem Olajuwon Diamond. He's a little bit steep in price. I will say that. But he's cheaper than the other diamond. The other diamond doesn't lock in for anything, by the way. Like 25 tokens. This one does lock in. So this one has also the added value of being in a lock-in set. But this one's 5k cheaper. And for 5k cheaper, you are getting 8 Hall of Fame badges. You're getting, like, Intimidator, it's a decent enough badge. Obviously, he's not the be-all and end-all, but he gets half Rim Protector, half Drop Stepper, half Post Spin Technician. He also gets Lob City Finisher. He gets Gold Catch and Shoot, which is quite a big badge. Can't lie. Like, Catch and Shoot is always quite a big badge in 2K. He's got Trapper, Set Shooter. Also, he's got, similarly, a great post-game to the other diamond. He's got a 77 3-ball, which is makeable. And for some people, he will play better than Bosch. He's got a 92 block, 95 interior defense, not the greatest steal or perimeter defense. He's a 77 speed, which is a lot better than the other Hakeem anyway, and 78 lateral quickness. Because of his just animations and the way he is in game and his player build, there are definitely some people that are going to have more success with him than Bosch. I'm not going to say he's better than Bosch because I think Bosch does a little bit more, but there are some people that are going to have more success with Hakeem, and Bosch is also like 15k more. So, yeah, spoiler alert, Bosch will not be on the best value list, but he's not bad. Like, Bosch is a good option. Bosch is a good option as well. He'd be like an honorable mention. At number 4, if you're just starting out the game, this should be like your go-to center. And I did not realize this card is nice. I've seen him up for less than 1,000 MT. You can often get this guy for 900 MT. And you might be thinking, why would you use a card like this? Because he's got Silver Catch and Shoot. He's got a bunch of decent silver badges. As well as that, if you're on this gen, he's got Silver Blinders, which is huge. But he's got a moderately good post game, an 82 3-pointer, a 92 standing dunk, not a great block rating at all, but pretty decent rebounding, and for a card that is this price, good speed. 73, 63, 73. Like, obviously bad lateral quickness. He's not going to be good. I'm telling you, he's not going to be good. But for less than 1,000 MT, if you are just starting out this game, and I know for a fact that there are going to be people just starting out the game that are watching this video, if you are trying to upgrade from your initial starter squad and you want to go, and you're going from a gold center, Karl Anthony Towns, this specific Ruby Karl Anthony Towns, not the other cat, not this cat. This cat is nowhere near as good. I will be the first to say that. This cat is nowhere near as good as the other cat, but the other cat is nice enough. His release, yeah, it's iffy, but it's fine. It's fine. If you are just starting out the game, cat is a good option. And I always like to put a really, really cheap option on these lists, so if you are just starting out the game, you're fine. Then we are on to number 3, and it's a card that I do not own right now, and I want to buy him. DIKEMBE MUTOMBO. He is decent. He is decent, and there might be a stage where I have to use him in limited, so I just bought it. I just bought him there, because why not? Basically, as I've said, he is essentially the same card as this DIKEMBE MUTOMBO. So, they're the same height, obviously. Yes, he's got 4 Hall of Fame badges. This one here. Rim Protect is a big one. But this card has got 20 golds, so there's only 4 difference in total badges. Obviously, a +8 in post hook. They have the exact same dunking stats. A -6 in block, a little bit less in rebounding. The exact same speed, the exact same lateral quickness. These are the same card, people. These are the same card, people. Get woke, lads. Get woke. Overall means nothing. Yeah, he's got a couple extra Hall of Fame badges. You are not going to notice the difference. You are not going... If you took away the little gem thing, I'm telling you, nobody would notice the difference. These are the same card. So, yeah. DIKEMBE, it's on the worst list because he's 70k. The same card is on the best list because he's 1k. Now we are on to number 2, and this card's a little bit steep, but one of my favorite bigs in the game, especially if you're on current gen. I would say no to having this card in the best value list, but if you're on next gen, he's my favorite big in the game. I'm sorry, the amount of more success I have with this card than say with Bosch is crazy. I think Bosch is a little more expensive, but there are times where you can buy, especially on Fridays, where you can buy Lopez for less than 25 KMT. And like compared, him and Bosch are very, very similar. They are very similar. Like Bosch has 2 extra half badges. Like Hotshot is one of them, which doesn't matter whatsoever. For a center, really, because unless you're shooting a ton with them. They both have half corner specialist. However, you've got more defensive badges on Brook Lopez with half rim protector and half post move lockdown. But volume shooter, again, another badge that doesn't really matter for a center. So they're like, in terms of badges wise, you might say Bosch is the advantage, but I think they both have gold range. And I just think in some badges, like brick wall and stuff, I don't know why. I just think Lopez has got slightly better badges. In terms of post game, Bosch, like they're almost identical, and shooting they're almost identical. It's preference. It is literally preference. Whoever has the better release in your opinion, whichever release you prefer. Lopez obviously a much better shot blocker. Probably Bosch a little bit better on the perimeter, but Lopez better interior. Bosch is going to be faster, but Lopez is faster laterally, so I don't think it makes too much of a difference. Like these cards, it's literally preference which you prefer. I think most people would prefer Lopez on next gen because there's just something about him, and on current gen would prefer Bosch, and that's kind of the like spot I'm in. And if they are the same price, right now Bosch is a little more expensive, but sometimes Bosch does get cheap. So while I don't have Bosch on the list, you could also argue on certain days when Bosch gets cheap that Bosch belongs to be, or the Bosch should be quite high on the list. The Bosch should be at number 2 spot. So now that I'm thinking about it, I think we should share. I think the number 2 spot should be a shared spot between Brook Lopez and Chris Bosch. And number 1, still, I'm pretty sure he was the best value the last time I made this list as well. And it is the double take. Where is he? Ewing. Like, Ewing is 2.5 KMT. Like, for 2.5 KMT, you are basically getting a slightly downgraded Hakeem Olajuwon. He's got 5 post badges. He's got half rim protector. He's got Heart Crusher, Intimidator, Pro Touch, Dream Shake, Set Shooter. Yeah, he's not going to shoot the ball. Like, that's his only problem. He's not going to shoot the ball. You're basically getting, like, a better Valanciunas without the 3-ball. But his 3-ball 65, he might hit if he's wide open in the corners. I wouldn't use him to shoot. That's his only problem. He does everything else. His post game is ridiculous. The way his animations in the post are incredible. A good shot blocker. 60 speed, not great. I will say that, but it's usable. 60 speed is like the bare minimum to be usable at this stage. 68 out quickness is not great either, but he's got a huge player build, plays really good on offense, and is just an overall solid player. Will he get eaten alive by the Anthony Davises of the world, the Blake Griffins of the world, and the Chris Webbers of the world? He will. He will get eaten alive by all of them. But so will every single center in the best and worst value list. Like, if you want to be on a budget and you want to compete, or not even compete, just stop an Anthony Davis, Chris Webber, or Blake Griffin at center, literally you have to get this guy. Like, this is actually now like one of the most effective cards in the game because he's an athletic center with clamps and he's like less than 50 KMT. There are no others. Like, there are actually no others. If you can either go for Giannis, who I actually think Giannis is the better option in these two just because of the way I play the game. You can either go for Giannis or go onto the pink diamond board and get yourself Maurice Lucas. Or, because most of the time, if somebody's running with one of those unguardable centers, you can't just switch your center on the power forward and power forward on the center. So it's like Maurice Lucas or a Giannis. There's nobody else right now. And I have a weird feeling at some stage soon we will get that athletic clamp center. But until then, they may not be centers, but if you are kind of like hesitant of getting any of these cards because you're like, how are they meant to guard Anthony Davis? Don't worry, you're always getting cooked by Anthony Davis. There are no centers you can use that are less. Anthony Davis, Will Chamberlain, unless you want to run like a Bill Russell if you have him. But like, again, he was like a reward card. There are no centers that can deal with those guys. So if you're looking to deal with them and that's your logic for not using any of the centers on this list, just throw Giannis on the end of your bench. And the one of every 10 games you face a God squad, just go wild with him. So anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it. That is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.